So let's try to add them to modify this function because we have to like get the answer of the query when only the metadata is given, and when the metadata is not given, then we have to also see like what would be the response of the query. And if the filtered metadata is not given, in that case I have to print the response as well as its corresponding metadata also. So in this query function, what I would do, I would pass an argument that would keep track of whether the filtered metadata is like passed or not. Cool. So here I would optionally I would keep it as none. Now I have to first I have to if the filter is provided, right? So I have to, in the context, like I would pass that filtered metadata, right? Because I want to get the response of the query in accordance with the filter metadata, right? So let's do that. So this is like after this line instruction, let's write the comment that I want to filter metadata, cool, metadata if filter is provided, right? If this is the thing, so let's do that. So first I would be taking filtered metadata, right? And first I would be checking if the filter metadata is provided or not. So if the filter metadata is provided, then I have to take that step. Cool. Now I have to pass the filtered metadata, and how I would be getting my metadata. So my metadata is stored in this whatever the like corresponding retrieved whatever the doc I have its like metadata also, right? So I would try to filter my document based upon this metadata. So here I would be trying to iterate the key, and the key would be, it would be the key and its corresponding value, right? So here key with respect to its value for key comma value in metadata dot items. Okay, so what I would try to do, I would try to make my context according to the filter metadata that I have provided. So what I'm doing, I'm iterating in the metadata dot items, okay, and I'm just producing key and value if my key is in filtered metadata, right? So this is, I would get my filter metadata and I can add it to my context. So I would add it to my context. So this would be my context. So so my context would be this filtered metadata. So this would be my context. So I can this is like I can put some kind of instruction also, like here in the string formatting. So this is my filtered metadata, and the value of the filtered metadata would be like here in this filtered underscore metadata, and we can put the slash in also. So this would be my context. Now I have just used, I have just collected the metadatas of my query, and I have tried to filter that metadata according to the filtering that I have provided. Okay, and in the context I am only sending my filtered metadata values, right? So I have iterate that metadata dot items, and if the key is existing in my filtered metadata, then I output that key and value combination. Now the next step would be, like, if filtered metadata is there, so I would have to do the filtering, I have to provide the response by using the context in which like filtered metadata is there. Else what I would do, else I would combine retrieve documents and metadata so that I can send it to the LLM for generation. So here you can see that I have provided the document ID and the title, URL, source and content. Okay, so here you can, what we can do, you can club it in the else part, right? Yeah, so this would be the else part. So, and this is my response, and this would be the generated query. Now let's test it according to the filtered, like if the filter keys are provided, right, and I have a query. So how to do, let's see. So because in my, if you would see, uh, the filter keys that are there, that is ID, URL, title and text in our dataset, right? So these are the particular things that we have. So based upon that, let's try to write the query. So let's take the filter keys and let's suppose I want to filter only on the basis of like ID and title. Cool. And then the query is the same. Write the query equals to what is an archism, right? So this is my question that I want to ask. Now if I have provided the filter keys, so in that case I should get the response as, I would call this function which I have like changed above, right? And I have to pass my query parameter, and filter metadata would be equals to it would be filter underscore keys. So here you can see that initially I was just combining the context, like in terms of the content, as well as like I was also sending the corresponding document ID, title, URL and source, right? Now what I would be doing, so here I would pass the filter keys and it would be enclosed like this, and then I would try to print the response, right? And one of the response would be when I'm not querying without metadata filtering, right? So in that case, like what you can do, just you have to print the response. So I would make another call to this function, right? Response, I would just send the response, right? I'm not sending the filter keys like you have to filter by some specific attributes, right? And then you would have to call this function again, right? So this function query underscore rag I would have to call just with the query only, right? And then I would have to print the response. and along with the response I want to see my metadata also, right? So here I want to see my metadata. So if no filter keys is provided, then I would have to make a change in this, right? So before this, if no filter keys is provided, so it would generate the response, and if no filter keys are provided, then if not any filtered keys are provided, so you can write if not, if there is no any case of like filtered, if no filter was applied, so print out the metadata after the response. So once you have got the response, you would check if there is something in the filtered underscore metadata or not, right? So if this is none, if this is none, so we would have to see this if it is not, right? And then we would have to just print the metadata, right? Just write the metadata. So here you would be printing your metadata corresponding to this, right? So enclosed in this inverted commas, and this would be our answer. So let's run this, okay, see what should be the answer. Let's run this because we have made the changes in it, and then see the answer. Let's run this cell also. So it is set like filter underscore, so we have to pass I think it's filtered underscore metadata, right? So let's write this only, filtered underscore metadata, and then run it again. And let's wait, it is processing. So as you can see that when like I have given the keys like on which it has to like filter keys, basically I don't want to send the content, I just want to filter with the help of filter keys, okay? So here you can see that it has been able to give the definition about anarchism, right? And when I have not provided the filtered keys, it is showing me the metadata, id1 source wikipedia, the same that I have that was there in my document, and it has just like given the definition also like regarding with the anarchism. So this was all about. Thank you.